You ever feel like technology has its own secret language? One that everyone else seems to get, but you? Well, today we are cracking the code. We're going to translate all that essential jargon from the digital world so you can feel way more confident and totally in control. Let's jump in. Seriously, have you ever been shopping for a new laptop or trying to pick an internet plan and just felt completely lost? You get hit with all these words like gigabytes, broadband, processor, and it's like you're supposed to be some kind of expert. It's not just frustrating, it can be really overwhelming. But hey, trust me, you are not alone in this. And that's exactly what we're going to fix right now. Think of this as your own personal tech translator. By the time we're done, you're going to have a simple guide to all the most important terms. It's all about giving you the power to make smarter, more confident choices about the tech you use every single day. Okay, first up, let's decode the connection that basically brings the entire world to our screens, the internet. When you sign up for a service plan, what are those companies really selling you? Let's find out. You see the word broadband advertised everywhere. It sounds so technical and impressive, right? But really, all it means is a fast, modern internet connection. It's nothing like those old, screeching dial-up modems from back in the day. Broadband is like a wide open highway for data, letting all that information flow smoothly and quickly right to your devices. Simple as that. So how is that speed actually measured? This is where things can get a little tricky, and it's a super common point of confusion. You'll see terms like kbps and, more often, mbps. Now that stands for megabits per second. The key thing to remember is the higher the mbps number, the faster your connection is. For just sending a few emails, a lower speed is totally fine. But if you want to stream movies in HD or get into some serious online gaming, you're going to want at least 25 Mbps to avoid that frustration. And a slow connection leads to something we all absolutely dread: lag. You know that annoying pause when your video just sits there buffering, or that split-second delay in an online game that, gets you totally eliminated? That's lag. It's the painful, frustrating result of your internet speed just not being able to keep up. So the takeaway here is really simple. Higher Mbps means way less lag. Okay, so how does that fast internet get from the cable in the wall to your phone or your laptop? Well, that's where the wireless router comes in. It's that little box with all the blinking lights. Its whole job is to take that wired internet connection and broadcast it as a wireless signal. And that creates the Wi-Fi network that all your devices use to get online. All right, so we've decoded the connection to your computer. Now let's peek inside the machine itself. What do all those technical specs and terms really mean for how powerful and fast it is? Man, this quote really hits the nail on the head. A computer that felt like it was lightning fast just a few years ago can feel so sluggish today. In the tech world, they call this obsolete, when something is just out of date because newer, better stuff has come along. And this relentless pace of change is exactly why understanding the key parts of a computer is so valuable. At the very heart of every single computer is the processor, also called the CPU. And the best way to think of it is as the computer's brain. Its speed is measured in gigahertz, or GHz. And the higher that GHz number is, the faster the brain can think, which means it can process information and get tasks done much, much more quickly. If you do demanding stuff like video editing, a higher GHz is definitely a top priority. This really helps put the scale of digital information into perspective. These are the terms you'll see for storage space on your hard drive or your phone. A megabyte, or MB, is pretty small. Think of it like a single high-quality photo. But then you have a gigabyte, a GB. That's 1,000 times bigger. And then you have a terabyte, or TB. That's 1,000 gigabytes. We're talking about enough space for hundreds and hundreds of movies. It's huge. So what happens when the computer's brain just gets completely overwhelmed, or it runs out of working memory? Well, it freezes. Oh, we have all had that moment of panic. The screen is stuck, the mouse cursor is frozen solid, and clicking does absolutely nothing. It is the classic sign that a computer is really struggling to keep up. So when you hear a salesperson say a computer is top of the line, what does that actually mean? Well, it's really just a fancy way of saying it has the best, fastest, and most current components available right now. We're talking a powerful processor, lots of memory, and a huge amount of storage. It's the best of the best. For today, anyway. And finally, let's talk about digital defense. Because once you're connected and your machine is up and running, it is absolutely crucial to have your security locked down.
Just think of a firewall as your computer's own personal security guard. It stands right at the gate of your internet connection, and it creates this protective barrier. Its entire job is to watch all the data that's coming in and out and to block anything that looks suspicious or any unauthorized intruders trying to sneak into your system. It is your essential first line of defense.
So let's do a quick recap here. You now know how to decode internet speeds, you get that the processor is the computer's brain, you understand the huge difference between a tiny megabyte and a massive terabyte, and you know how a firewall protects you online. See, you are now in control.
And that's a wrap. You're now equipped with the vocabulary to navigate the technology of today. But as we've seen, tech never, ever stands still. Which leads to one final question for you to think about. What new terms will we all need to learn to understand the technology of tomorrow?